Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Sanch, your host here on the Bodybuilding News Network, and we have two interesting stories for you. But with the first one, we have a 1 year exact transformation comparison. First, showing the video from January 22nd, 2022. Samson Dauda talking about being post cardio check ins, making progress in a very short time is hard as heck. It's not what he said, it's what I said. Hard as heck to do. But if you have the right people in your corner, it makes it a lot easier. He gave a shout out to his coach, Milos Sarcev. He said one of the best coaches of champions. And he also gave a shout out to Chris Jones, 1975, for helping him train coming into his contest. And of course, Mar Lenka won, I'm assuming is his wife, as he was 6 weeks out from one of his shows last year around January. Of course, you guys can let me know. I think it was the Arnolds, but correct me if I'm wrong. I like what I'm seeing from this old video. I thought it was really impressive. He looked big. That's what's kind of surprising is he already looked so big. But then you look at this physique update, which is recent from yesterday, and this is him again 6 weeks out from the 2023 Arnold Classic, and you can see improvements in the quads, the thickness, the density. He's always had a nice sweep to the quads, and that's what really gives him a nice signature look compared to other people within his weight bracket, and also someone competing with the height. You got someone like Andrew Jack, who is comparable in height, but not as comparable in leg density and thickness. And then you look at someone like a Big Ramy, who has the comparing leg size, but not the quality and not the aesthetic nature of it. So I like what I'm seeing from these recent physique updates. Before Big Ramy, before Nick Walker jumped into the show, before Andrew Jack jumped into the show, Samson Dauda was the favorite to win the show, hands down. It was going to be a clash of giants between the large and in charge Samson Dauda, finishing sixth at the recent Olympia, making big improvements, versus the 212 reigning two-time champion Sean Clarita. Now, it would seem that Sean's name has kind of gotten lost in the mix with all these new gentlemen jumping into the show. I still think he could be competitive, but it's going to be an absolute uphill battle for him against these monsters. And again, I want to emphasize just the amount of improvements Samson Dauda has been able to do in exactly 1 year time, in exactly the same time frame of prep. He was 6 weeks out last year in that video, and he's 6 weeks out in this video. So it just makes it even more impressive to be able to put them side by side and compare them. I'll probably do a Instagram post where I get some still shots of them. So if you guys want to see that, make sure you guys swing over to the Instagram. But all in all, I still think Samson Dauda is going to be in that conversation for a possible top 3 finish here, which makes improvements on his 5th place finish at last year's Arnold, I believe. And then obviously top 6 at the Olympia. So he's making improvements. He's moving up in the ranks. I'm happy to see it. I think he's going to do a phenomenal job. This is footage from last year's Arnold. And, when you looked at him last year, he did look downsized. He looked small compared to some of the other guys on stage. And he did have to deplete quite a bit. I think he was around 275 pounds when he got on stage with this video. And you got to think that he was sitting right around 300 pounds as he got on stage at the Olympia. So there was a lot of size put on. My question to you, and please let me know in the comment sections below, is do you think Samson Dauda is going to be able to place as high as we hope if he brings the same conditioning that we saw at the Olympia? I think he needs to bring a lot better, sharper, more crisp package, more separation, more striations. I think the conditioning all around needs to improve more for him to be in that conversation to beat out someone like a Nick Walker, and maybe even a Big Ramy. I think it's going to be a very tall order for him to beat Big Ramy if he does get side by side. They are comparable in height, and their legs are comparable in density, but it's the quality I think that's going to come down to. And depending on the judges at the Arnold Classic, I'm not exactly sure how they're going to judge this show, but I would like to see them judge it fairly, just as the Arnold Classic or the Olympia committee judged quite fairly at the Olympia. But ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for this. I'm actually going to make this into a two-parter, so make sure you stay tuned for the Nick Walker video. But as always, thank you so much for watching. My name's Josh Sanch, your host here on the Bodybuilding News Network. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.